I want you to look at this car. Seriously, look at it. It's a 2007 Toyota Corolla. The paint on the roof is a little faded from the sun, and it has a small ding on the rear bumper. It will get you to your job, your kid to school, and your groceries home from the store, and it will do it on a thimbleful of gas. It is the definition of basic, reliable, affordable transportation. The odometer reads 140,000 miles, which for one of these is barely breaking a sweat. The engine is clean, the tires are decent, and the air conditioning blows cold. Even the $2,500 cars aren't selling at my dealership. It was her late husband's car, and she'd only used it for church on Sundays and trips to the pharmacy. When my mechanic, Dave, put it up on the lift, he just grunted, which is his version of a glowing review. A young woman came in, a single mom with her daughter holding her hand. Her eyes lit up when she saw the price. She told me her old car had finally died. The hope drained from her face. She asked if I could hold it for her, and she was spending a fortune on ride shares to get to her 2 part-time jobs. The Corolla was perfect. She loved it. Her daughter loved the color. Then came the part I have come to dread. He wore worn-out work boots, and his hands were calloused. He was a contractor, and his work truck had been repossessed. He just needed something, anything, to get him to job sites. He had the $2,500 in cash, counted out in worn-out 20s and 50s. This was it. I lost a big job last week. This cash, this is all I have. What if I buy this car and then don't get another job for 2 months? I'll be out of a car and out of money. I can't risk it. I just can't. The sale, the sun is setting, casting a long shadow across the empty lot. An old reliable is still here, sitting in its spot, a monument to a promise that our economy can no longer keep. Good bones. Frank, he said, changed the oil, topped off the fluids. This thing will run forever. It's about a world where the people who need a cheap car the most are the ones who are too financially terrified to buy one. The single mom has no access to credit. The student is priced out by insurance. The working man is too afraid of unemployment to part with his emergency cash. Is there any way I can make payments on the rest? A $2,500 car is no longer an asset or a solution. It has become a terrifying liability. And if the foundation is gone, what does that say about the rest of the building? When a society gets to a point where even a $2,500 car, basic tool for survival and upward mobility, is considered an unaffordable luxury for the people who need it most, you have to ask yourself a serious question. I look at the $40,000 SUVs and $50,000 trucks on my lot, the ones I'm losing a fortune on, and they don't scare me half as much as this little blue Corolla does. We're not just in a recession, we're in a crisis of survival for a huge portion of the population, and I'm standing here on the front lines watching it happen, one unsold affordable car at a time. The question isn't why this car isn't selling. The real question is, what hope is there for any of us when this is our new reality? Its failure to sell is a symptom of a much deeper disease. It's the canary in the coal mine, and the canary is dead. Then he just stood there, staring at the car, for a full minute. And that, right there, is more terrifying to me than any market crash or economic headline. They were the easy wins. We'd take them on trade, put a couple $100s into making them safe and clean, and sell them for a small, quick profit. These are cash deals. No financing, no banks, no hassle. More than that, they were the cars that made you feel good. You were helping someone out of a jam, getting them a car they desperately needed when they had no other options. These $2,500 cars were the lifeblood of the working class. This isn't a crack in the system. This is the foundation crumbling to dust. It's not a head. It won't win you any races. What it will do is start every single morning. The price I'm asking for it is $2,500. $2,500. That's less than a high-end laptop. It's less than 2 months' rent in a cheap apartment. It's a fraction of the price of a single vacation. It is, by every possible measure, the cheapest ticket to freedom and mobility that exists in the modern world. And it has been sitting on the front line of my dealership for 52 days. 52 days. In that time, I have had 17 people look at it, and not a single one has made an offer. We call her Old Reliable. She came in on a trade from an elderly woman who had finally decided to hang up her keys. In the car business, cars like this used to be our bread and butter. My first sign that the world had fundamentally broken came about a week after we put the Corolla on the lot. I have $1,000 saved up, she said, her voice hopeful. I had to explain that for a car this old and this cheap, no bank would write a loan. It has to be a cash sale. A week later, a college kid came by with his dad. He needed a car for his commute to the community college. They test drove it, liked it, and had the money ready to go. They were about to shake my hand when the dad paused. Let me just check one thing, he said, pulling out his phone. He was getting an insurance quote. His face soured. For an 18-year-old male driver, the insurance on this 18-year-old car was going to be over $200 a month. $200 a month. That's insane, he said, looking at me as if it were my fault. Plus gas, plus taxes, and registration. Son, I think you're sticking with the bus for another semester." They left. The car sat. The most heartbreaking encounter was with a man in his 50s. He walked around the car 3 times. He kicked the tires. He looked underneath. He listened to the engine. He did everything a smart cash buyer would do. Finally, he shook his head and started putting the money back in his pocket. "What's the problem?" I asked. "It's a solid car." "The car's fine," he said, not looking at me. "It's everything else. That's the problem. Things are slow." And that's when the true horror of the situation hit me. It's not about the car. It's not about the price. It's about a complete and total collapse of confidence. The entire ecosystem that supports the lower middle class is broken. So here I am, at the end of another day. This car represents the last rung on the ladder of automotive ownership. And it's a rung that people can no longer reach. This isn't a car market problem anymore. This is an everything problem.